This is the entrance to the what I call the Hazebrouck V1 site, which is just outside Hazebrouck in France. Apologies for the pronunciation. This is the entrance road. This is the a map of the Hazebrouck site. Just a quick tour. So standing at the entrance, number one, and then just inside is the first ski building, immediately followed by the second ski building, and parallel to that one is the third ski building, and they both point towards the ramp, which is at the far end there, and then all the various assembly buildings, and then the square one is the non-magnetic building. About 150 metres into the forest is the first ski building. Looks like there's three on this site. Well, I don't know what state they're in. This has been blocked off, but it looks complete. This is the straight end of the ski. Curls to the right, so towards the path up ahead. The interesting thing is they look quite a bit bigger than the ones I've seen before. I mean, from ground to top is about 3.5 metres. It's quite big. Here's a diagram showing the ski-shaped building. So I'm standing approximately the far end on the left, and looking up towards the tip of the ski that way. According to this notice, it's 80 metres long and nearly 4.5 metres wide. And it's capable of storing a dozen V1s. I'm standing about midway along. Just a quick 180. And then that's the end, just as the path curves. It always ceases to amaze me how nature handles this. A tree has managed to grow inside and is now pushing its way off, pushed the roof up, and it's managed to break the roof. Now this is up at the tip of the ski, so to speak. And this entrance is about as high as the other ones I've seen. That's just over about 2.5 metres. So I'm not quite sure why the other one was much bigger. But just down the path is the second one. This is the tip of the ski part of the building, which curves off down there. According to the notice, this was a personnel bunker. It's about 50 metres from the second ski building. Interesting to note the different materials used. You've got bricks around the doorway, and then you've got big concrete blocks everywhere else. Which looks like the similar sort of blocks used to make the walls of the ski building. Well, that was lucky. I have a feeling, having seen lots of men walking around these trees, that this is a pick-up place. And I nearly walked in there holding the camera. That could have been embarrassing. The man just left there, doing up his trousers, and he walked off in that direction. So back to the tour. So this is back to the ski building, number 2. This is the second ski building. The first ski building is off to the trees to the left, and about 50 metres. So again, this is the tip of the ski with the entrance. The reason for the tip, or the curve, was to try and reduce the impact of any explosions. Not sure how effective it was. Now again, about another 100 metres on, near where the cyclist is, it's ski building number 3. Another 50 so metres along the path, that's ski building number 2. Here's the rear end of, pardon the pun, the rear end of ski building number 3. The tip, this curved end at that, on the other end. Way off in the distance is ski building 2, and then here's the curved end of ski building 3. Now this path obviously has been built since the war, but when the V1s came out from storage, they went to the right to various buildings to be put together, magnetic or non-magnetic building for example, but then the ramp was up that way. According to the plan, this was one of the temporary storage buildings. And then up that way is the non-magnetic building, which I think the one on the right maybe, and then the ramp, which can just see through the trees. Big speed up, there you go, there's the ramp. This is the preliminary assembly building, which is very familiar. Many of the other sites I've been to have one of these as well. Mainly used as cow sheds. And it's about, I'd say about 100 metres away from the ramp. The sign says on this one it's the workshop for rinsing the steam boiler. This is where the V1 would have been launched. Concrete walls protecting the ramp. Off towards London. And it's a bit overgrown, but this is the ramp, or rather the ramp was in between the two concrete walls. I pretty much guarantee that that direction is to London. Unfortunately it's private land, so I can't go on it. Not sure what the metal rivets are. A bit like they've been bent back. Have to check what they're for. This is a nice information board. It tells us London is 201 kilometres away, an angle of 297. There's a picture of the concrete walls where the ramp would have been, and there the concrete walls are today. This is another familiar building, the non-magnetic building. Pretty much it's fallen to pieces. That's the pretty much destroyed non-magnetic building, and beside it is a nice big hole. That might well be a crater, and if it is, that's a brilliant shot because it's within 5 metres of the building. This is inside the non-magnetic building, what's left of it. The key factor with the non-magnetic was that there were no metal parts used in its construction. So even down to the hinges and the doors were all made of wood. And then obviously the structure was made of brick and block. The second thing is it was constructed along the same line as London to match the ramp. So I assume they would bring the completed V1 in here and then adjust the mechanism so that it was pointing 297 degrees to London. There's not a lot left of the building, and having found one crater at the front, there's another one here, I think. So, looking around the ground around it as well, it looks quite pockmarked. You can see it's all broken up here. Here's another huge bunker. It's about 8 metres across, I suppose. Right in the middle of the complex. The ramp's off to the right. I'm going to need to double check history of this one, because it's interesting. This one was built obviously deep in the forest compared to some of the other ones that were built in open ground, and what the effectiveness of this location compared to the other one. Just a postscript. Just past that man walking into the V1 site. He had his zip down and his shirt sticking out. Couldn't miss it because it was blue trousers with a white shirt. Wonder if that's a sign.